So I go with this bit about how my badminton coach was a
right,
thinking that's gonna smash.
bring the house down.
Awful. So
you did a tour with him, TWOTI Live.
yeah,
Talk us through that. What was the concept of the? Was it literally like the online show, but in a stage format?
So it was. I think a company had approached Will,
Right.
and he'd told them about doing TWOTI, and they were like, "Yeah, we'll do that live." And he got me into it, just to someone to bounce off, I guess.
Yeah, to write the show.
And then I got Max into it to write for me. But I just thought I'd be more comfortable having someone to bounce off myself.
Yeah.
So yeah, we did the tour, but it was sort of like the month before the tour. I should point out I did make Peniella vodka in Cal Freeze's video. That's why I'm slurring my words so much. That hits hard.
Harry's been at it again.
Yeah.
He's never stopped, does he? He's never stopped.
Speaking of, where's the chime? So yeah, a month before the show, we did all this writing, coming up with ideas. And we got a week before the show, we did the first run through, and it was a shambles.
What? Why?
Just because we really hadn't practiced it, and the segments we were doing, we weren't confident, we weren't selling it, we weren't performing at all.
So, because obviously the series, for anyone who hasn't seen it, on Will's channel, was just him looking at things that had happened that week on the internet.
Yeah.
But so the tour lasted what? Was it like a month or something like that?
Yeah, it was 4 weekends. So
And was it the same show every night, or did you change it up with what bits you?
Same show, but there was. Yeah, it was very much the same show, but we added little bits each time as we went through, saw what worked. And,
Yeah.
Pardon me. It's embarrassing. But yeah, the show we had a week before was just awful. And then myself and Max went into the hotel room.
And cried.
We came up with. We sort of had this back and forth with the makers of the tour, because I had this just one drug joke, and they were really stumbling with me about it, just going, "You can't do that. We've got a young audience."
What was it?
So I was doing a guide to a night out, saying something to do with. It was like, this is right, this is wrong. So it's buying a bag of Coke for 40 quid. I was like, this is wrong. Darren down the road selling it for 30. It was very, very simple, but it was sort of. It's what I do really in videos. That's my sort of humour.
Yeah.
I was like, that's what the audience will expect. And then we eventually got that passed, and we were fine with that. And then at that point, we just thought, we'll just write the worst things possible and see what they accept.
Mm-hmm.
So we wrote a Madly McCann joke, just the most edgy stuff we could. And weirdly enough, that joke we wrote that night was sort of most nights it'd be the biggest laugh we got. We got an applause for about the first 5 nights in a row. We'd get an applause break in Ipswich. That was the one laugh we got.
Really?
Oh, God.
It was just it was quiet for the whole evening. Like interval, we're like, fucking hell, let's just get this done.
Wow. Why do you think that was?
Just
a shit crowd.
But I can't blame Ipswich. It was maybe they just didn't get into it when there's more people. Because we did bigger venues, people just into it straight away. You could tell from the start.
Yeah.
Who's into it, who's not.
Well, how many was the Ipswich one?
Probably about 600 or 700.
Well, that's still fucking pretty meaty, isn't it?
Yeah. That excuse isn't working, is it? Shit content. Max was off that night. Just some people didn't get into it, I guess. And then if there wasn't a big laugh at the start, they just weren't into it. So with this show, right at the end, we have some more edgy jokes. I lay into Jeremy Lynch a bit. We just sort of, I think it was the top 5 rappers on YouTube.
Right.
And there was just a lot of references that the audience enjoyed. And yeah, the Madly McCann stuff sort of won it round. I think the makers of the tour thought, oh, that's the audience then, is it? They had a different idea of, they've done like Ali A, people like that.
Yeah, yeah.
So we were very, hitting a different demographic really.
Yeah.
It was really enjoyable doing the show. But yeah, it was just a different experience. Never thought I'd do it.
I think the thing is, when you sell to a YouTube audience, because often they're quite young, I imagine.
Yeah.
It must be awkward because I imagine that they'll come with their mum and dads.
Yeah.
So it'll be like mum, kid, dad, kid, mum, kid, dad.
Yeah.
So already half of the audience probably don't have a fucking clue what's going on.
Exactly,
like
yeah.
we did something at Summer in the City. I think I was telling someone about it on the show a few weeks ago, but we didn't plan any show. It was just going to be like Happy Hour Live, and we turned up and they were like, your room is like the most full we've seen. So already
wow.
I was like, and I'm not saying that to brag. I'm literally like, oh fuck! Like
Yeah.
I didn't even know we were doing one until like 2 days ago. And I turned up and we were doing all the usual happy hour stuff, trying to be edgy, all that shit. And I'm just looking in the crowd and just seeing like mums and dads
Yeah.
just looking at me like, what the fuck's going on here?
Yeah.
Did you ever properly bomb?
Oh yeah, it was I sort of cherry picked my gigs, so I'd be like, that'll be good, that won't. So it wasn't too often, but I did this sort of corporate gig, my first, and it was I was told it was a company in St Helens. So I was like, oh, that's good. I can do my material about St Helens. They'll love that.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, I got there and it was a pharmaceutical company, so
Oh.
all very intelligent people. The one branch in St Helens was like the tiny table in about this massive room. There's about 10 of them. So I was like, oh dear. And then the guy came up to me and went, so we've got a lot of Muslims in, so they're not drinking. So you might feel like a different energy in terms of like a rowdy crowd. So I was like, okay.
And then Harry turned up and suddenly they were drinking. This
Didn't know
water's
you were away
fizzy.
to Harry.
Yeah, so the guy, the big boss, went up and he gave them a dressing down of their overall performance for the year, saying you've not hit these targets.
Oh,
I'm sat there.
fuck.
I should have been on an hour ago, just like, oh no. And then the next guy goes up. He does a reading of the Quran, and this is essentially my warm up act. So that wasn't helpful.
It was annoying that he was taking your show as well.
Yeah.
That was all you had planned. I didn't read the Quran from start to finish. Never took off that.
Really didn't. So then after he read that, he then just introduced me. So, I go up to a mild applause. People are just waiting for the dessert. Then I
Oh
come
my
up
God.
and I start doing my jokes, and it's not hitting home. It's really, just people like sort of that face.
Yeah. What's going through your head in that moment? Are you shaking?
I'm just like, oh God. And then
That's awful.
I'm cringing now.
5 minutes in, this the guy who's booked me just goes like that, essentially saying, just get off. So I think I'll go off with what always works for me, which was a bit called badminton. So I just
Sorry, we're at a corporate gig. Badminton.
So I'm dying on my arse.
Yeah.
And I go, Stephen, you got to use badminton at some point.
Pull out the big boy.
Yeah. So I go with this bit about how my badminton coach was a p***,
Right.
thinking that's gonna smash.
Bring the house down.
Awful. So 2 minutes later, I'm off the stage, head in my hands, and believe it or not, the night ends pretty soon after that. So the DJ's packing up his decks, going, "Oh, I thought you were funny."
Oh,
A bloke from the
God.
St Helens table comes over, goes, "Does you do weddings?" I'm like, "Not now, mate."
What? He wanted to book you again?
I just thought he was. So I was just like.
Oh, my
yeah,
God.
I went home that night, and it was my sister's birthday, so I popped round to see her, and just sat on a living room floor in tears. Just
fuck.
like, yeah, happy birthday.
Was, you didn't say that was your last gig you ever did?
No, so that was a Saturday night. So on the Monday night there was this. It was called like a gong show.
Right.
So basically, if the audience likes you, you'll last the 5 minutes. If they're not enjoying your act, they'll put up a red card. If you get 3 red cards, you're off the stage.
Oh.
That's horrific.
It's
Yeah.
brutal, yeah.
Yeah.
So this was called Beat the Frog in Manchester. So I thought I'll just sign up to that. I've got to try and bounce back.
I don't know how you have the balls to go from a nightmare situation like that to go onto a show in which you're so heavily
Yeah.
judged.
Well, it's pretty much, in my mind, I thought it can't get any worse.
Right.
No better time to do it. So I thought I'll do that. And because I backed myself in the material, I thought this should have worked. So I went and did the exact same jokes, and I think I won the show that night.
Oh, wow.
So it was like a sort of redemption for me.
Yeah.
These people jokes are funny. But yeah, it's just you can do the exact same material, different audience, different reaction.
Get a completely different thing. Yeah, since I was doing a few gigs a few years ago, and then since I had that nightmare gig that I speak about all the time, Never did it again.
Yeah.
It was just like that. I just can't bring myself to do it. So fair play for getting back up there and doing it.